But we're going to start off with these uniform changes. So these uniform changes we talked a little bit about with the Falcons. They're getting rid of that two-tone jersey.
Yeah, they're ditching the gradient, the Grady Jariant, and a bunch of other teams are changing shit too.
Yeah, I noticed the Lions they're going to the Honolulu blue, they call it, and they put the Ford Mustang seal on the side of the helmet. Do you see that?
And Mufasa the Lion, yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, they actually decided against Mufasa and went for the Ford Mustang seal. I guess that speaks to Detroit. I get it. I get why they put it on there. I don't like it. It's like a wink to the elites, like back and forth.
They
It's a
should
little
put
odd.
Kid Rock on there.
They should. They should put Kid Rock. Just as good as a dead lion. The so the Bucks are coming back too. That's the one I'm sure everybody's super excited about. The old creamsicles.
The throwback creamsicle throw up jerseys.
Yeah. Hopefully it's more like mixed up. It's less mixed up Neapolitan and it's more like orange cream, like it's
more
supposed
blood.
To be. Yeah. Put more blood in your Neapolitan ice cream and that'll be the perfect color.
That'll be the one.
So the Seahawks, I think the Seahawks went from worse to bad to worse here because they're going back to their old uniforms that I just think are atrocious. I think their new ones are terrible and they're better. I think they're better than the old ones.
I think so too, but a bunch of people are stoked about them though for some reason. Yeah. I don't get it. I think they're pretty bad.
All 12 men are pretty stoked about it from what I understand. Yeah, I don't know. I don't fully understand it. I like so the Eagles are going back to their old ones. They're going back to the old color. And I didn't realize
the Marky
it was so
Mark
long.
era color scheme.
Yeah, the Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. They changed in 1996. They've been that ugly forest green color since '96.
Since '96.
Yeah. That's right after the team was sold. They changed the colors. Bought the team, and he said, "Fuck that green. Fuck fans. Fuck what they think," and just changed it to that green. I don't know.
Whatever.
Yeah, I know you saw these because we talked about these. The Arizona Cardinals high school jerseys. They're like
the high school ones.
Right, they're like old storage room. Like I don't know. I kind of feel like they're like they were supposed to come up with a new idea. They didn't, and so they said copy the Falcons, and that's what we'll do. We'll just put our state.
Yeah, if they were actual high school jerseys, I think they'd look terrible for high school as well. Can you get water?
Yeah, they're awful in my opinion. I don't I don't see really what they changed for one, but I don't know. And apparently Kyler Murray's all good with it. He loves them. He thinks they're good. But he dresses like a 1960s lampshade. So I don't think anybody really pays attention to what Kyler Murray's talking about. Get better. People will listen to you maybe. Spoiler alert.
Panthers are getting
number 32 on my power rankings.
Ooh,
the Panthers,
that's pretty low.
Yeah, the Panthers are doing like a color change, right?
A slight one, like a shade darker, I think.
On the blue.
A shade bluer.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
They got old Bryce Young now, the new toy. So you got old Bryce Too Tall Jones or Young now, so they can change the color. There'll be a whole new team. That's what they're banking on.
It's a whole different environment over there in Carolina.
It is. It's dog shit, and it smells like a pig pen over there. I don't know if you ever
things are
there.
rumbling.
What's that?
No. I said things are rumbling out there.
Yeah, not a big Carolina fan, that's for sure. We can blow past them. I guess the Vikings are wearing their throwbacks also opening night, but
the Randy Moss throwbacks.
Yeah, I mean, what are the Vikings throwbacks? So I thought the Vikings jerseys are the Vikings jerseys. That's how I understood it.
Yeah, they're purple. They like Barney the dinosaur colors.
Oh, I feel like it's always been that. They've always been the same. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't pay attention to Minnesota like I should. I guess
it's pretty easy not to.
It is. It's easy, especially what they've been doing. back in the day, the purple people eaters you probably pay attention to, but not these gals. So the Browns are changing their helmets, which I don't like. I don't like this at all. But it is an alternate. They're changing it.
The
It's just an
white.
alternate, so it's not. I thought it was a permanent thing when I heard it, and I thought that was just crazy because they're they're iconic helmets. You got to keep the brown. But I do like that they're trying something new besides like the elf that they tried last year, that child molester elf. I don't know
The
what that was about.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. That was. I'm sure it's always been a Cleveland staple,
Right.
but I don't know. It was a little childish.
That was somebody's idea that somebody should have shot that down at a boardroom meeting.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And so who else is changing helmets? So the Colts, I guess they're doing black helmets. That's gonna be strange. That's an alternate too, though. So that's cool. They're trying.
Yeah,
something.
they look pretty cool. With the blue horseshoe on there,
Oh, so it's all blue and
and
black.
the jerseys are.
That might look cool.
Yeah, I think it looked pretty sweet. Let's see. There's also the Titans are wearing their Houston throwbacks.
They hijacked the
The
Oilers, so they
Oilers.
get to take those as throwback. You know what they should do for their throwbacks is just take off the two-tone on the shoulders, and that's it. They're throwbacks now.
Yeah.
That's what they should do. They shouldn't be allowed to take the Oilers. That's crazy. You want to talk
No,
expansion
that's-
into Europe? Let's expand into the teams we used to have. Like, let's do that first. Let's get the Oilers back. Hashtag bring the Oilers back to Houston and get rid of the Astros.
Yeah, the Astros cheat.
Cheating Astros. You wouldn't believe how many people are running around in Texas with these cheaters on their hats, on their shirts. There's so many Astro fans. It's unbelievable.
It's a swamp.
These so Denver. Go ahead.
No, I just said the Astro fans are trash can people.
Yeah, they're a little blind. So who else? Denver. Denver was the
It's
other
the
one. So
Broncos.
Denver's changing their helmet. They're going to the throwbacks, but they're changing the helmet color to white instead of the blue. I think that's kind of cool, but it seems kind of lazy to me too, because I don't know.
Yeah, do something different.
Yeah, every team's kind of just going for the white or the black. Like, let's make it the complete opposite of what it was, and we'll call them alternate jerseys. Which I guess it is an idea, but I feel like it's been beat to death these last few years. Kind of like when somebody scores a touchdown and they got that like superhero picture up in the end zone and they're all flexed. They look like superheroes. It's like day one Photoshop stuff. That's been on there for like 3 years or something.
It'll be around the season.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But
Yep. We
like
have all these files saved. Why are we gonna? I can't just make new pictures of these guys. Can't just do
Right.
new pictures every year.
I can't put actual pictures up of these guys.
Right. It's pretty unreal. The running back market. So I don't know. I'm gonna start this one off like the late great Skip Bayless.
R.I.P.
I had to give one to the late great Skip Bayless, but we have no clue what Skip Bayless is saying because he destroyed his own career by taking out Shannon Sharp. So we don't even know what he would say about this running back controversy. But I feel like it would be somewhere along the lines of siding completely with all of the players. Whoever's tweeting right now is who he agrees with.
Probably.
For sure.
That would be my guess.
So someone I don't agree with is Saquon Barkley. So Saquon Barkley, I feel like every star like spoke up for Saquon Barkley. Most of which have already been paid, and some are like on the top 10 list for
Really
highest paid ever. Right. So this conversation. So Saquon Barkley, if you don't know, Saquon Barkley was offered $19 million by the Giants with a $10 million cap, and he turned it down. So, is it criminal? Like Christian McCaffrey said, like he said, it's criminal that he doesn't get paid more. My concern with Saquon Barkley, it should be the same as everybody else's. Is he going to stay healthy? It's not.
Right.
Like, is he good enough? He's
out?
absolutely good enough. He's great. Like, he's besides your dude, Robinson. He's the last dude I remember coming out of college that people are like stoked on, and he didn't live up to the hype. And people, I don't know. This is just the era of people wanting to get paid for not doing anything. I don't know.
I think so. They all get paid way too much.
An ungodly amount.
So what? I don't know. It's just a whole culture in the NFL. It's like they want to get paid, and there's no amount of money that's big enough.
Right. Like the whole market doesn't even matter. That's not even a thought that comes to their head. It's more whatever I can squeeze, like whatever bag I can get out of this team. I need to do it because I'm not going to be here in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years.
Yeah, and for them they have like this text thing that went out either yesterday or today, like had a little text thread going on about their poor brethrens that don't get paid $20 million a year.
Unbelievable. I want names. I want names of these people. Like, who thought it was the brilliant idea to start backing this whole thing up? Because I understand all the current running backs that are in the league right now that are like behind him, like helping him out, coming out in public and saying, "Oh, Saquon's worth way more than that." It's like a teammate reaction. It's like, "Oh no, you're awesome," even though he's not good. You got to roll with it. And I feel like they're all backing him up because they want more money in a year when their contract comes up, or in 2 years when their contract comes up. Like, fuck that market. Let's Jerry Jones that market again, and let's all make way too much money and have these expectations of compensation from these teams before you even do anything. Like, what has Saquon Barkley done for the Giants besides that one awesome year? And he didn't even lead the league, which, whatever, that's a hard thing to do. I get it, but
he wants to be paid on it.
Right, you want more than $19 million? Like, he wants to get paid like a Devontae Adams. That makes no sense to me. It's unbelievable. He hasn't done anything. And then you got basically the same dude in my book, Jonathan Taylor, saying the same thing, that running back doesn't matter. And you got Le'Veon Bell, the Steeler Jet Chief Raven Buck Raider.
Whatever she was.
The nothing now, because ultimately he was a fool that left Pittsburgh, and he held out for money. So he should understand. He should sit in the closet on this one. He should just stay back and just listen to what's happening, and then maybe come out with a comment. But he said he never thought he'd see the day when he would urge running backs to change positions. That's crazy, because so you're telling me that this position is so easy to play that, let's say, who's like a top receiver that couldn't play a lick of fucking running back? CeeDee Lamb?
CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, soft as butter Justin Jefferson.
Yep. No way.
No, they pay these running backs pretty good money, but they only last a little bit. They don't last 20 years like Emmitt Smith. They don't They don't have careers like that, especially anymore. They get hit every single play. So people are looking for 4 to 6 really good years out of a running back, and if you don't even give them 4, you're nothing. You're going to be traded. You're going to be moved around. You're going to hop around just like a Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell was great with the Steelers, but that stopping and then checking out everybody and then running shit only worked for that 2 years. Yeah, people figured that shit out real quick. So I don't want to hear what Le'Veon Bell has to say. His opinions, I can't believe he even opened his mouth about it. Emmitt Smith also said something about it, which Of course, I do listen to Emmitt Smith when he talks. But let's keep in mind, Emmitt Smith is the 10th highest running back ever. So
to get paid.
right, 10th high, he's number 10. So at 61 million, he made 61 million dollars. And that was the majority in the 90s. But he won 3 Super Bowls, 1 league MVP, 4-time leading rusher. Like, he was worth the money when he sat out and asked for more money, and he gladly paid him, and then he returned him. He gave him 3 Super Bowls. So his argument kind of blows me away.
And they all make so much money. They don't have a leg to stand on. Like,
no, it's almost like they're just talking to themselves.
Paid $1 million. Why is this $1 million thing? Like, why do you need $1 million to run football?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. The money. It's all the money. It's all the fans. That's why. So Emmitt Smith says the game's headed towards fandom, is what he said. Now, I want to think that he caught himself and kind of like the fans are everything. The fans are everything to the sport. And it used to be like that. It's not like that anymore. So for him to say that kind of surprised me, because the fan doesn't fucking matter about anything. How long have we been talking about voting in the Pro Bowl? Like, at least let us vote and...
like, give some sort of voice.
Yeah, give us, like, one full vote. Give the people one full vote in the Pro Bowl voting or something. Like, include the fans. But no, they want to charge you out the ass to go to a game and to see these millionaires play their game and then get, like, snubbed like you guys did. And, like, they don't give a fuck about the fans anymore. You see, like, when I went to the one game I've ever been to, Eric Dickerson is walking around shaking people's hands and taking pictures and grabbing babies, kissing cheeks, and all that good shit. And all the older players, you saw Troy Aikman doing it. There was a lot of people there doing it. But you don't see that anymore. You don't see the younger generation doing that. I think they're just there. It's just greed. It's all the money. So for Emmitt to say that, it just blew me away. But when I say he fixed it, he said it's the Madden era. It's all about stats and fantasy and all this stuff. And I get it. Like, there's false expectations from Madden, but we don't. Like, Emmitt Smith has to be crazy to think that, because we don't play Madden on the ridiculous settings like that I put it on so I can score like 200 points in a game and just shred people up, and then watch my NFL game on Sunday and expect him to do the same thing I just played on Madden. Super unreal. That's way over the top, but that's kind of what he's gearing towards. Like, expectations of what? Like, because we want you to be good? Like, we want you to be good if we're going to pay you? That makes no sense. So his argument makes no sense to me, just because the fandom thing really threw me off, but the whole Madden era thing doesn't make sense to me anyways, because that has nothing to do with football to me. It's Madden. If you actually play Madden and you're like a really real true fan of football, Madden just frustrates the shit out of you because of how fake it is. Other than that, it's a fun game, but I don't take, like, football history advice from the Madden era. I don't know.
No.
I don't get it.
No. They, their whole argument is just, it's crazy.
Yeah, the fact that Saquon wants more money and all these guys want more money blows me away, just because of this list. I was telling you about this top 10 list. Emmitt Smith's at the bottom. Of course, at the top is Zeke Elliott, because Jerry Jones went rogue on the league and blew up the market.
Yep, and now they're having issues with that currently. They feel like they're not.
Now we're feeling it. And everybody saw what Zeke did from then on, and we just released him, and everybody's like, what did he get paid for? Exactly.
Yeah, you don't do that.
That is the whole reason. My boy just walked in. What do you need, dude? Crazy. anyways, yeah, I lost my train of thought there. But Zeke, yeah, no, that's exactly the reason. The the fact that people, that's the first thing you think of is, how does Zeke earn that much money? Because when you see the list, you're like, $123 million this dude made. He's got 4 Super Bowls, right? He's got to. But no,
Couple league
it was
MVP.
like an accident to get him back. He should have just said, "Go fuck yourself," and ran with Tony Pollard. That's what he should have done. But he paid him a crazy amount of money, and now everybody's paying for it. And they're not even really paying for it. They're not worth that kind of money anyways. They're just feeling the effects from it.
Yeah.
The next guy behind Zeke is Adrian Peterson.
AD.
103 million. AD all day.
Jeez. You think he'd have multiple championships?
You would assume so. I don't. So he led the league 3 times, but what did he do to earn that amount of money? But a lot of people argue it's Adrian Peterson. Like, I get it. I sympathize with that a little bit, because who didn't watch the Vikings when Adrian Peterson was playing?
He's pretty good.
Yeah, like when he was on the Saints, I didn't watch him. Whatever team he ended up on, I didn't even pay attention. But let's see this son of a bitch at number 3. Christian McCaffrey is number 3 on the all-time list. Granted, it's $89 million, right? That's just fucking nothing. That's just crumbs. But he's never led the league. What has he done? What has he done? He wasn't on that Super Bowl team with Cam Newton, right?
Maybe as a rookie.
I don't remember him. I don't remember Christian McCaffrey doing much of anything. That year, if he was on the team, I'd be surprised, because Cam Newton won the MVP like single-handedly that year, because he was the dude that was running the ball. But Christian McCaffrey, to come out and say that the Saquon situation is criminal, and you're the 3rd highest paid running back of all time in this league. It's through 2025, so he hasn't made all that money yet, but through 2025, he's going to make almost $90 million for what he's done, which is a list of nothing. Couple good playoff games. He's had some great regular season games. Can't take that away. But he's not worth $89 million.
My thing is, why is you're getting paid that much and you're complaining that someone else isn't getting paid that much?
Right.
Then take some of your pay.
That's
like,
what
here
I'm
you
saying.
go, man.
Even it out yourself, Christian. You weren't impressive then. You're not impressive now. He's not going to be impressive later, because he's getting worse and worse every year. And they've got a great thing going anyways with Debo, and Debo's going to have some more years on him.
Unless he gets hurt severely.
Unless he gets hurt. But Christian McCaffrey, he's not lasting much longer, and he will have made over $80 million. And people are going to be raising their eyebrow, like, what did that kid do? That's that little white guy, right? And Alvin Kamara, another one, a perfect example, right? Like, what has Alvin Kamara done to make $80 million?
Trouble?
Right, besides
Absolutely.
get in trouble. He better get suspended, by the way, because Zeke wasn't charged with anything, and he was suspended 6 games. Alvin Kamara has been charged already. I think he's been convicted of this thing already. But I haven't heard of anything from the NFL on that. But Dalvin Cook, almost $70 million underneath Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara, I'm not even going to waste my time, because he hasn't done anything besides when Sean Payton let him be that guy that ran 6 touchdowns, right? That game was over by the 4th one. Dalvin Cook, $70 million, like I said. Speaking of somebody they're talking about should make more money, somebody should give Dalvin Cook a deal and this and this. There's a reason they paid him and then just let him walk. Same with Zeke. There's a reason for it.
Yep.
And
absolutely,
the fact that I drafted Madison every single year, I think, tells you everything you need to know about Dalvin Cook. He's never been like Mr. Reliable. He's never been like a great finesse runner. He's never impressed me very much, besides that one year that everybody was like, oh, it's Dalvin Cook. Who's that guy?
And all that, all the millions he was able to try to bribe his ex $1 million to clear him of abuse
A
allegation.
million bucks. Don't
Million.
say I didn't do anything, and I'll give you $1 million. And he's got
But he
68 more million of those, so he's actually kind of being a dick.
he
He should have
can't.
offered more, really.
Yeah. The only person that couldn't offer more is that one clown from the New York Giants, that running back Saquon,
Yeah,
because he's not getting paid.
I've heard of that gal. Yeah, and he's not getting paid either.
No, not by the Giants.
Nope, shouldn't
I
either.
think he's done there.
Yeah, I would let him go just because he's not dedicated to the team, in my opinion. If you can turn down $19 million, you're not dedicated, sir. You're not dedicated to the
No,
team. You're
not
dedicated to the money,
one.
and you should have worked a little harder because people would have snagged him up already. He would already had an offer he couldn't refuse. He'd be on a team. We wouldn't even be talking about him. But he's not going to get signed. He's going to get signed super fucking late by some team that doesn't really want him, or he's going to bite the bullet and the Giants are going to offer him like $15 million. He's just going to take it.
Yeah, and then probably get hurt again, knowing the Saquon I know.
Yeah, knowing the Saquon I know, he's got Todd Gurley legs, and they give out every year.
Todd Gurley legs.
Yeah, yep. The next guy under here, I don't really put him in here because he led the league twice. He was pretty good, but Edgerrin James, he made $68 million, and he lasted for like 11, 12 years or something.
And that guy's a nobody.
Right. And who is that? Yeah, not many people are going to know who Edgerrin James is. Another guy, people know this guy though. People know Frank Gore.
Frank Gore, yeah, he was pretty good.
Yeah, Frank Gore, well, just his longevity. Like, he played like 16, 17 seasons, 15 or 16 seasons, somewhere around there. But he played a long time, racked up a lot of yards. But he racked up $63 million also. And you can make an argument he had a better career than Adrian Peterson and Edgerrin James, Dalvin Cook. Well, Dalvin Cook's not done yet. Christian McCaffrey, he's gonna land higher on my list. But he was also a company man. He didn't have to. He wasn't one of the dudes beating his chest for tons of money. But there is the next dude, Reggie Bush. He was beating women for $60 million a year. Getting paid. He was around for like 11 years, but yeah, he made $63 million. $63 million for LaShawn McCoy too, number 9 on that list. Emmitt Smith, number 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I think people know what they see, and it's just annoying. I think to the just regular fan, the everyday fan, even if you're like a Colin Cowherd like casual fan, I feel like it should feel wrong to you.
A casual fan of football.
Right. Yeah, those numbers are crazy to me. That makes absolutely no sense. It's gonna stop. They're just working. They're churning the pot right now, seeing if they can get paid. They're all laughing at all the people talking about it, and it's just off-season stuff because we're super close to football, but we got to get through preseason.
Got to. I'm curious how long it takes like for a market to reset where these guys start getting paid more. Because I mean it will, because they're always going to be getting paid more.
Right. Yeah, I mean people. The NFL makes so much money; it's unbelievable. These teams, just the money they bring in from merchandise and jerseys and just everything. They could afford to pay these players a lot more, but should they have to? They're the owners. It's their team. That's why there's a salary cap. So you can't pay like super low wages, right? And you can't pay super like outrageous wages. So everybody around the league is doing what they're doing now and begging for more money. Like he paid him. Like the owners should be like, they should just tell these dudes to get out of here. Like, go somewhere
right?
else then. And I think that's what they're doing by not paying him. It's like, fuck off then. You're not worth that.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Go find out where you're worth somewhere else.
Yeah.
And that's
Zeke's
how it should
laughing
be.
at Jerry Jones. I'm not going to get laughed at as a team owner. I'm just not going to make that decision, especially on a Dalvin Cook or a Saquon Barkley. You want to talk about like somebody that's been healthy? Even Jonathan Taylor's been hurt. And then they'll tell you, well, we're running backs. That's why we should get paid that much because we get hit all the time and we're always hurt and this and this. Like
no,
when you guys miss games, it's something serious and you miss a lot of time. Like, I want you to be strong and healthy for at least 4 good years. And if you're just sticking around and asking for more money and you're not producing every year, then what are you even doing there? You don't deserve to be there. There's other people that didn't even get a chance to play in the NFL or even college ball for that matter that could take their place tomorrow. It's a business. It's easy.
Yep. It would take like a couple weekends of open tryouts, and I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that aren't playing football that are pretty capable.
Right. We might not get games that are as good, but you could fire everybody in the NFL today and rehire new players tomorrow. You would have full rosters tomorrow. And, the games would just be atrocious. There'd be so many people that don't deserve to be there. but they wouldn't be begging for money. We get enough of that with all the people living on the streets and shit in, like, Detroit, San Francisco. Yeah. But that topic pisses me off. The topic I really wanted to talk about, I'm excited to get to these power rankings because I think we'll be pretty similar. But I feel like Pro Football Focus and their power rankings, I feel like are always a little bit skewed. Like if you watch the previous season, like whoever the favorite was, like whoever I mean, it's kind of always the same thing. You can almost guess, and it's like number 1 team who finished number 1 who won the Super Bowl would usually be number 1, all the way down to the worst team in the league would be and that's not always the case. It shouldn't be the case with power rankings anyway, but again, you got a bunch of cow herds. That's why fans of these sports have to come out and make terrible shows like this, because we know what we're talking about, and these idiots on TV getting paid millions of dollars, like that dude that got fired. There was a few people fired actually from ESPN or something pretty recently.
Yeah, ESPN let a bunch of people go.
Yeah, they let that one dude. He was just a clown. What was his name?
Stuart Scott.
Damn. He was one of them. No, I can't remember his name, but he is very forgettable. So that makes perfect sense. But everybody they got rid of, I don't know if they're cleaning house because of, I don't know what they're doing. People don't like the shows. You can even watch like NFL Network or MLB Network and find terrible things, that just random shit that's not even vetted, just all this information that comes at you, and some of it's not even accurate. They'll change last names and things. It's pretty unbelievable. The production value is terrible. and it's millions and millions of dollars. Hundreds of employees to make these shows work, and that's the quality we get. So don't blame us for our horrible show. Blame Skip and fucking Shannon.
Yep. Blame the crappy run back market.
Right. So my power rankings. So who's your number 1?
Number 1 is the Atlanta Falcons.
For sure.
No, I'm just joking.
Makes sense.
Yeah. The Chiefs.
For sure. That's what I figured everybody would probably have, because, I mean, you're kind of lying to yourself if you're not. But
if you're not,
yeah. I mean, the only major issue I thought they had was, well, I don't think their line is that good. I think Patrick Mahomes is just that good, but they got an edge rusher in the draft that I think is going to be really good, and that was one of the spots they needed that big time, because they don't get pressure on anybody. for as good as that defense is, as far as ball hawking, they can't rush the passer at all.
They might be losing Chris Jones.
I did see that.
He they're super unhappy with each other right now. Not very close. And so that's something to watch right there. That'll be a big hole on their defensive line.
Yeah, that'd be a big loss for sure. Because who are they going to use? You got to slide a rookie in there because they're already like middle to lower of the pack on their run defense as it is. So
yeah.
But either way, I think for as far as the beginning of the season, these power rankings change immediately week 1, even of the preseason, in my opinion. Maybe 2 weeks of the preseason, 3 weeks of the preseason. But as soon as that first week in the NFL hits, everybody's mind changes instantly. Remember the Vikings last year? Or just any team. There's teams like the Broncos going like 9-0 or something, or 9-0 start, and then they just died. It happens all the time. So these power rankings are almost always wrong, which I'm betting on ours to be wrong also.
Chances are, yeah. There's a small probability we could be wrong.
Yeah. I put...
Who do you for number 2? Oh, number 1. Did you put Chiefs?
Yeah, I've got the Chiefs number 1. Sure. I put the Bills number 2.
Bills number 2.
I'm probably going to catch some shit because a lot of people have the Niners or the Eagles.
I put the Bengals as number 2.
That's a good pick. The Bengals are going to be good again. They're almost... That's another team that you just know they're going to be pretty good, and they've gone up in the power rankings pretty recently. So.
Yeah. I had the Bills for number 3.
For sure. I only put the Bills just because so what's his name? Knox, their tight end.
No.
What is it? Dawson or Dalton or something like that?
Dawson.
Yeah, he's good. He's solid. But that Kincaid kid is going to change life for that offense. Because Josh Allen, in my opinion, is the best quarterback in the NFL. If I want a quarterback, if I could have my pick of any quarterback in the league, it would be Josh Allen.
Yeah, he's definitely up there.
Patty Mahomes is right at that number 2 mark for me, but it's only because he's reckless.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time he's all right when he's reckless, but a lot of time he gets up and limps. Like towards the end of every game, he's always doing the limp and like walking off the field. Look how tough I am, and then he's right back in the game. But I just don't trust how reckless he is. But Josh Allen, I feel like now that he's got like this true tight end, this beast, he's gonna have a heyday because him and Diggs last year were just disgusting. Touchdowns, nonstop. So they're my number 2 for sure.
Who did you have for number 3?
I've got the Eagles number 3.
Eagles 3. They're my number 4.
Who's 3 for you?
The Bills.
Oh, okay. So you have Chiefs, Bengals, Bills.
Yeah, Chiefs, Bengals, Bills, and then the Eagles.
For sure. Yeah, I put the Eagles up high only because I hate them so much. But I gotta respect them right now for sure, especially with what Jalen Hurts did last year. Yeah, because Jalen Hurts scares the fuck out of me. I feel like I speak for every Cowboys fan because it's the dude is good. He's so poised, it's unreal. The dude looks like he's 45, like he's been playing with Tom Brady the whole time. He's been playing 2 years, right?
I think it's only been 2
like
seasons.
1.5 or something. Like he didn't even play that whole year. It was Minshew Mania or something, right? I can't remember.
Cashew Mania.
So my number 4 is the 49ers. So you must have the 49ers 5th then.
I do. Yep.
For sure. Yeah, So they apparently they got a cornerback. That's really all I heard. They didn't do too much because they don't really have much to do anything.
Isaiah Oliver.
Do they have Isaiah Oliver?
Yeah, yeah, the
The
blanket.
blanket. Yep. Because as soon as the game started, he would curl up on the sidelines with a blanket. That's what that. That's what that was about.
Yeah, because it definitely wasn't about his coverage. That's for
No,
sure.
it can't be. And that was self-proclaimed. He gave himself that name, as far as I understand
I think a coach might have given
it.
it to him, but
Just the coach trying to like pump him up one day. He's like, "Look at this fucking idiot! You're the blanket, man. You're the blanket, best ever." He's fucking running around like an idiot.
I'm the
I'm
blanket.
glad he's out of Atlanta, and I'm stoked that he's with the Niners. I hope he plays every snap.
Yeah, me too.
But they do have another corner, that Lutter kid or Luter, however you say his name. I don't know much about him, but if they make the right decision on the quarterback this year,
Yeah,
I think they're gonna be good. Because their corner, they said that was like their biggest impact player as far as the draft went. Was their cornerback. That was like their main need, but they're still really good. But their cornerback is going to determine all of it. I think if they go with Purdy, they're going to be solid again.
have to be solid. Oh, go with Purdy.
Yeah.
You said, not Trey Lance.
No, I think Trey Lance is proven trash. I've already made my decision. He's never impressed me from the start. I thought it was a bad decision, and I don't like Jimmy G either. But I thought it was a way smarter move to play Jimmy G over Trey Lance. I was terrified when he got hurt because I was like, fuck, the 49ers are going to be decent again because he got hurt. Now they get to go to a mediocre quarterback instead of a terrible one. And a lot of people are like, well, he just needs some time, and he's young, and he's this, and he's this. I don't want to hear any of that. Like, look how early Lamar Jackson won the MVP. Look at Dak Prescott's year. Like, get out of here.
Yeah.
Like, prove it the first day until you're gone. Like, it needs to be top-notch. It needs to be perfect every time, especially in that position, I think.
Yeah, Brock. I'm curious to see what kind of production Brock Purdy's going to put out in year two. Whether he's going to back it up or might be like a fluke or.
Me too. You kind of saw him learn lessons week to week because I feel like everybody was watching the 49ers during that time. And you kind of watched him week to week. Like balls he wouldn't throw away before, like the next week you would see him almost take a sack, but he'd throw the ball away, or he was making way better decisions really quick. I think that's Shanahan stuff probably, but he's learned super quick. He's gonna be really good, I think. But they got to start him. Like, you can't do the back and forth stuff. I don't understand this thing with Shanahan with allowing. There's one that is better than the other always. It's
always,
sports.
yeah. That's where
There's always one. Like I was telling my daughter about softball. There's two girls on her softball team. One is really, she's the best player at the school, clearly. And people are kind of wondering if she's going to make this team over this other girl, or if they're going to roll with the other girl that they've had or whatever. And I said if he's being honest, he's going to roll with the one that's better because she's clearly better.
Yeah.
That's sports in general. I feel like that goes down to everything. You can see it, and you can make guesses. I understand people like coaches probably take chances all the time on people, but for the most part, they're really conscious about trying to keep their jobs, and they're not going to put somebody in there that they're not confident they're going to be decent at. Like maybe a quarterback, or not a quarterback, maybe a receiver, maybe a running back, definitely a running back, but you don't want super green, that's for sure. Not a quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Who did you have for your number 5?
My number 5 is the Bengals.
The Bang Bangs?
I only put him. I put him there because I did have him higher a while ago, but I don't know. I just feel like the Bills. The Bills jacked my whole thing up just because I got a really, really good feeling about the Bills this year. But the next one after that is the goddamn Jets.
The number 6.
Yep.
Dang. Yeah, I have them quite a bit lower.
I don't know, but I'll ask.
My number 6 is the Dallas Cowstars.
Oh, dang! You got him higher than I've got him.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
they I think they're going to be all right without Zeke Elliott,
Oh,
and
yeah.
now they have Stephon Gilmore to tie down the other side of the field.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we needed a corner for sure, but that's over the top for me just because the dude's brain power. Like, I don't care. People are talking about he's old already and his best years were like as a Patriot and shit. The dude's solid, super, super solid. I feel like you don't watch
Yeah.
Stephon Gilmore play enough or haven't watched him play enough if you don't think he can change life. This isn't because he's on the Cowboys.
Don't lose. Yeah, you don't lose your football mind. Like
No.
no matter how old you get, and then, like those players do good always. Like they're always balling out.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be great because Mozzie Smith is another big one from the draft, but I mean he's an interior dude, but he's not necessarily going to change life. But we need more of a pass rush, and you wouldn't think the Cowboys do because DeMarcus Lawrence and you've got Micah Parsons now, and yeah, we do. We need a little more. DeMarcus Lawrence, I think it's about time for him to go or take a pay cut. If he plays like he did last year, pay him a little bit maybe, but
Yeah,
but Stephon Gilmore's the dude. He's gonna lock the side down. I think, open it up because it was number 1 and 2 I think last year for Stephon Diggs. That was they were number 1 and number 2 in most yards allowed. I think.
really.
Yeah, and I'm drawing a blank on the other corner, but yeah, I think Stephon Diggs was number 2 or number 1, and Jesus, I can't remember his name.
The Jordan Lewis, that guy.
Yeah, Jordan Lewis. So we had a couple rotating in and out, but as far as the cornerback last year, yeah, I think it was number 1 and 2 for yards allowed was both of our corners. And I like Diggs because he takes more chances. That's why he allows more yards, I feel like, because he's playing the ball a lot more than he's playing the person. But you can allow that on one side because he's pretty good, but you got to be locked down on the other side. He can't look your way and go the other way every time because they will if you're weak over there. Just stay away from you the whole game.
Tear you apart.
But that's cool because I got Dallas 7. I was trying not to be super biased.
I have the Dolphins is number 7, and that's with Tua if he's healthy. If not, then obviously they drop pretty drastically.
Yeah, for sure. But you're aware they have Jalen Ramsey, right? Greatest cornerback of all time.
The GOAT.
That's how I understand it. Yeah, the GOAT. That's how I understand it.
Yeah, just Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle.
Waddle was nasty last year.
Pretty good, yeah.
Waddle was really impressive. Tyreek Hill has never really impressed me just because I just feel like his heart's never in it. He's just like speedy and doesn't give a fuck about anything. Just runs, throws up peace signs, and just I don't know. And I've seen him not get a lot of balls. I've seen him drop some balls. I've seen some things happen to Tyreek Hill. Do you think? I don't think Tua is going to play this year. Excuse me.
No. So.
And he might play, but he's going to get hurt. Tua's brain
you think
is not great. It's not in good condition. Yeah, I really think even a shot to the face mask like quarterbacks take all the time on the chin, I think even that's going to jar him around too much because I mean, the game
Yeah,
where he
go
was
limp
throwing
on
up
the field.
gang signs. Yeah, he was throwing up gang signs, and he was out. He was out cold. That's one of the worst concussions I think
Yeah,
anybody's ever seen during a live game. But I don't think he's right. I don't think he was right the whole year. I think that coach, that 8-year-old they got coaching for him, I think he should have been fired. I'd have fired him if I was the owner. Because
yeah, oh
I
yeah,
mean, you just
reckless,
watch the
so
dude.
reckless.
They have people in the crowd. They have spotters for these teams. These teams hire people to sit in the crowd and take up a fan's ticket spot and watch these quarterbacks to see if they have concussion symptoms. And the fans can see everything at home, but these people that are being paid to do this can't see it. Of course, they can see it. It's why the NFL lies about concussions all the time. We're right there,
Yeah,
guys. We're almost
stop.
we're almost going to figure out what causes concussions. Until then, here's some football.
Right? We're gonna change the helmets, which still won't get rid of concussions because you just can't take concussions out of the game
Right.
because
They're going to have to
they just
figure out a
happen.
way for
Gonna
us
happen.
to remove their brains temporarily, let them play football, then put them back into their head. That's the only way I could see this happening.
Yep.
Other than that, full-grown 200-plus pound men running at like 20 miles an hour, full speed at each other and just slamming into each other is never going to be good for you. It's always going to cause concussions.
No.
It's why, like they say boxers and MMA obviously just get concussions nonstop. Like their first sparring event when they were 10, they got concussed. That's why they're all jacked up. But football players too. It just depends on who started in high school and who started as a kid. The ones that started as a kid are people like Junior Seau, who played too damn long, got hit too many fucking times.
Yep.
So
There would.
my next one might surprise you, but my next one after the goddamn Jets is the Browns.
The Browns.
The Browns. The Browns. Maybe I'm just like doing that thing that everybody does, it's the Browns thing. But they're
Yeah.
I think they're going to be all right. I feel like people bank too much on Deshaun Watson, and I'm not a huge fan of the dude, but
No.
I do think every one of those women touched that man's, and he's a decent football player. He's good. I'll say he's good. I don't think he's like phenomenal like they make it seem like, but
No.
this year I think he's going to be more settled in. Know what I mean? They've got a
Yeah.
couple new pieces to the defense. I think they're going to be a little better. To put them as high as I have them, I think might throw some people off. But again, the the whole division is right behind them. Obviously, besides the Bengals that I have higher than anybody else. But the Steelers and the Ravens are immediately after them, and I don't know how I did that. I don't know how that matched up like that, but I'm being a little biased to the Browns, I think, but
Yeah, I don't know. That Nick Chubb, I think, is going to be near the top of the league in rushing this year
sure.
if he doesn't lead them.
Yeah, if he
He
stays there.
have no Cream Hunt to compete with.
Mm.
I think they'll do all right. I don't have them that high. My number 8 might surprise you. Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh, for sure. Dougie P.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
the crystal ball fanatic.
Freaking Calvin Ridley. He looks better than ever. I feel like just from what I've seen.
Yeah, Calvin
his
really
routes
hasn't
are
even gotten to play yet.
No.
He's
gonna be the most rested receiver out.
Yeah, I think so. And people are sleeping on him because it's Calvin Ridley. He's the kid that just didn't he didn't play that much. His year with Matt Ryan was good, but it wasn't. Did he break 1,000 yards that year? It was like
his rookie,
right?
Yeah, I feel like it was in the 8s. I'll look it up real quick.
Yeah, I mean, he had a good year. It just wasn't. It wasn't anything major. But I would put so right after the Ravens, because I have the Ravens right behind them, I've got the Jaguars.
Jags in the number 9 spot.
Yes.
So I have the Ravens in the nine spot.
Okay. Yeah, the Jaguars are on almost nobody's top 10. But I think people are still kind of sleeping on Trevor Lawrence, because it was crazy, all the hype when he came into the league. There was tons of hype about him, and then everybody was like, nah, he's a bust. And then now last year, everybody's like, oh shit, like he needs to figure it out. Like that's all he's doing. So he's one of those players that might need a couple years, like most quarterbacks do.
And he shows like he can throw the ball.
Yeah.
So Calvin Ridley in about 3.5 seasons with the Falcons.
Mm-hmm.
He only went over 1,000 yards in his third season. In 2020, he had 1,374.
Oh, okay.
And then the other two were in the 800s.
Mm-hmm. And then one of them is at 0. 0 yards acquired.
Yeah, 281 he accumulated before he went into mental health fit.
Did you know him and Pete Rose are on each other's Wikipedia pages? But one more thing about the Jaguars though. Cam Robinson's suspended for the first 6 games this year, so that's gonna blow for their offensive line, at least for a little bit.
Yeah.
And Trevor Lawrence got sacked like a mofo last year. Well, every year so far he's been sacked like crazy. So I think that's gonna hurt them. I wanted to move them down for that, but you never know. He might appeal it and get like 2-3 games or something like that, and who knows? Anything could happen. But if he's not playing for those first 6 games, I might have to move him down a little bit. But overall, if I'm thinking 2023-2024 season as a whole, you got to have him pretty high, because I think people got to respect, even though they went into that last playoff game, because they won one, right? They won a wild card game?
Yeah.
So they went into that division game basically knowing they were going to lose, and they almost won. Or they almost won. I'm thinking AFC Championship, because they did go to the AFC Championship a few years ago. But, I mean, all those dudes are gone. But, yeah, they're going to be good this year, I think. I've got the Dolphins right behind them. I've got the Giants right behind them.
Yeah, I went Jags, Ravens, Chargers, Lions, and then I have the Jets in the 12th spot.
Who was that last one? It like cut out.
The Jets in the number 12. They have this. See, I just had it up.
Yeah, I'm doing the same thing, trying to find. I'm scrolling all over the place.
Right. So Garrett Wilson, this receiver they have, he looks like he's going to be the dude there. There's a lot of hype surrounding him.
Yeah, they're gonna be good again, I think. Not good maybe, but they're gonna be good again.
They have Aaron Rodgers. They'll be good.
Yeah, they surprised me last year, because everybody, I feel like, was like, oh shit, the Jets, they're playing. And then, because I remember a couple people texting us saying, are the Jets for real? Like, is this happening for real? And now they've got Aaron Rodgers, the back-to-back MVP dude, that Kawhi Leonard is way out of town. I'm hopeful for the Jets, because if the Jets are winning, it means the Patriots are fucking losing. So I'm cool with that.
Patriots are losing, everybody's winning.
Yeah. And who'd you have behind them?
Behind the Jets,
Yeah,
I have the Seattle Seahawks with Geno. Geno's the dude.
for sure. I've got
They
the Lions next.
I've the Lions at number 11, so right before the Jets.
Right on. Yeah, that Brian Branch kid is going to be really freaking good. And what's his name? Jamal, the running back.
Uh,
It's Jamal something. I can't really.
Eric Gibbs.
Gibbs. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, that boy's going to be pretty good. He's on a lot of people's list as people have Gibbs over your guy, over
Oh,
Bijan.
yeah, those guys are idiots that have that.
Yeah, I don't know because it's still the Mustangs. Still the Ford Mustangs. So
It is. It's exactly the Detroit Ford Mustang crew.
yeah, I'm not trusting them too much. You got to kind of respect them a little bit just because, but at the same time, they're still the Lions. So let's not go crazy. They can't go any higher than that. I think I might actually have them too high. They'll probably go down. Now I just put them down. I thought about it, so they're down now. But I don't have the Seahawks for a minute. I actually have the Steelers right after the Lions.
I have the Steelers at number 17. So they're back there's a bit. And I think Kenny Pickett's going to have a pretty good season this year. I think he's going to have a really good year.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, look how long Tomlin's been around. Can you remember 3 losing seasons back to back to back? I can't even remember 2 besides the last 2.
No.
So I feel like it's happening. They're going to be doing something. But they changed their left tackle. I know they did a couple different things. But that's what he does. He makes adjustments. Steelers are probably going to be pretty decent again. I've got the Packers right behind them, but that's not impressive.
I have
for the Packers anyway.
The Falcons at number 14.
Okay.
Right after the Seahawks.
Crazy.
Probably, but I don't think it's too far. Like, weak division, super weak schedule.
Yep.
And they've got some players this season.
Yeah.
Some good veteran help, and I think the biggest jump is going to be for their year 2 players. I think a lot of them are going to have standout seasons.
For sure. Yeah, because they did bring in some veterans to be able to pull that out of those newer dudes. So that's going to be valuable.
Like Calais Campbell.
Yeah, Calais Campbell's going to be big. He'll be a big locker room dude. I mean, I think the only reason people will look at you crazy, because I've got Atlanta right after the Packers on my list, but people say that's crazy because they're going to say the Saints are better than the Falcons, and the Falcons were not even close to the playoffs last year. I heard that today on a podcast, that they weren't even close. Wasn't the division tied, like a 3-way tie, like the last few weeks of the season?
Yeah.
Wasn't it like completely wide open for weeks at a time?
It was.
Yeah.
It almost came down to the last game, beat the Buccaneers.
It's just more reporting without actually watching the game.
Maybe in there. I have the Vikings right after the Falcons, number 15. Just because Kirk Cousins is he's probably the best quarterback option.
Yeah, he's the GOAT. How do you like that? No, I do have the Vikings. I've got the Vikings next after the Packers.
Who do you have? Who do you have after the
Excuse me,
Vikings?
after the Falcons. So I've got the Packers,
Falcons.
Falcons, Vikings, and then I've got the Bucks after them.
The Bucks. I have them pretty low.
Yeah, I put them. So I put them a little higher, just because their O line got a little better, and I feel like I don't know, none of that Tom Brady random Super Bowl thing, whatever that was, whatever that whole year was. I think that whole era is over, but I feel like that team is still there, like that core is still there. And last year was a weird year. I feel like there was, for them and the Saints. The Falcons, I feel like we're still rebuilding, and they just rebuilt like crazy from almost nothing to, I feel like they're rebuilt. Like, I feel like they're rebuilt and ready right now if they had to play right now. Some people are saying they need another year or two, but
no, I think they're in win now mode.
Yeah, I think so. I think they're in win the division this year mode for sure.
I think, like I said, weak division, and they've got the pieces to win the division at least.
Yeah, my next after them is the Patriots, but I'm not.
Patriots.
Yeah, I'm not super impressed with them. I mean, like Juju's their best guy, and they're starting Mac Jones.
Yeah, and I'm not sold on Mac Jones. Yeah,
I like Mac Jones, but he's one of those players that I've never been impressed with, and I usually like to give quarterbacks a couple years. I feel like every other position you got to be good out the gate, but quarterback, I feel like you do have a little bit. You've got an adjustment time, but it depends on how good they are too, because I don't know. It's just the way quarterbacks are graded now. Where is?
I had
Zappy. That was the other
like
dude.
I said
play Zappy.
Oh, Bailey Zappy. Yeah, he came in. He did pretty well last season. They should have just let him finish the season out.
Yeah, I would think so. I feel like the whole team turned on Mac Jones. Like, even the fans were booing Mac Jones towards the end of the season. Like, you still can't be.
Yeah.
You still can't be hopeful, right? Once you hit that stage, like, you don't put the paper bag over your head and go to your Browns game and then take it off the week after because you're like, oh, they're doing great. Like, you're in that mode until that person's gone, or until that culture's gone, or whatever's happening is gone. So I don't know. I feel like Mac Jones is that for the Patriots. I don't think he's gonna last. He's gonna be somewhere else.
No, I had them.
Bill Belichick. I mean, even though he's kind of being stupid about this whole quarterback situation, he's not afraid to let somebody go, especially for not playing well.
Oh.
If he can't cheat to get you to win, which he's doing.
Maybe that's it. Maybe Mac Jones just isn't a cheater.
Right. Yeah, he's like, no, I can't do that, coach. He's just a good, solid dude, and we're advocating for him to lose his job to Zappy, the company man who will smash cell phones and do whatever, deflate balls,
sneak into people's practices,
climb up in the Bengals booth, be a fly on the wall, camera, fly. The next team after that I've got after the Patriots is the Colts. Oh, I skipped over completely. Number 11, I have the Chargers.
Oh, I had the Chargers number 10.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I skipped over them completely because I just got to the Rams. I was like, I didn't say the Chargers, and I definitely have the Chargers higher than the Rams.
I don't think I put the Rams on my list.
Yeah, they don't really deserve to be there.
I'm just kidding. I have them after the Steelers, the Rams.
For sure. Yeah, I've got them after because I've got the Panthers next, and the Colts are right after them. Rams are right after them.
Yeah, I have the Panthers at number 23, but I had the Colts almost dead last. I put them 31.
For sure.
I think they're Richardson kid's gonna just come in and throw a bunch of picks. I feel like
God, I hope so.
they he's splitting the first team reps with Gardner Minshew mania right now.
Yeah, and you can't go wrong with Minshew Mania. You got to have him hired just for that dude.
Yep.
The GOAT. So my next would be, well, so the last two, I guess. But my last two are the Texans and the Cardinals, dead last. And what pushed them over was the
It's not the fact that they're absolutely terrible.
yeah, they are. They are an absolute joke. I mean, DeAndre Hopkins probably got there and he was like, "Man, are you fucking kidding me?" Because he James Hardened. He didn't Kawhi Leonard his way out. He James Harden his way out. And then he did it again abruptly, just like the real James Harden. But the super team, they're gonna. He's a Raven now, right? He's part of the super team.
The super big boy team.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they're big boys. They're big into steroids and stuff.
Yeah, he went to D Hop.
Old D's Hop.
Yeah, no, that was just NFL insider information. He actually went to the Tennessee Titans, where
did he go to the Titans?
Where star wide receivers go to die. Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, where they do go to die. No, that's good you told me that because I thought for sure because I don't pay attention to D Hop at all. Once I deemed him not as good as he says he is or pretends to be. Not paying attention to him anymore, especially as a Cardinal. I don't think I watched one Cardinals game. He could have been on the Titans halfway through the season. I wouldn't have known.
Yep. Well, he couldn't have because he had trouble with steroids.
Right. Yeah, he was.
That steroid boy.
Yeah, he's not gonna be the dude. Are they? So who's throwing the ball to him?
Well, he wanted a proven team that's ready to compete right away. He wants a quarterback that loves the game of football. So Ryan Tannehill.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah, checks out.
They're ready to win. They are right there. They're on the cusp.
Like, no, they offered him more money. That's why he chose to play
there. Yeah, but you can't say that. You can't tell the truth as a player and say it was about the money. Because fans believe everything they hear.
Makes him look pretty stupid. Saying all that crap and then signing with the Titans.
Yeah, they're not going to do...
So nobody wanted it. Nobody wanted that.
Right. Yeah. Nobody wants that problem. He's a problem in my book. Like, he could get suspended for something he's doing, and he doesn't really give a fuck. And then... It's partially because the media, like all these talking heads, they cover for him when shit like this happens. It's like they say, like, oh, when that happened to D-Hop, like there's people that you'll still see say, oh yeah, it's too bad that happened to Henry Ruggs. And you're like, happened to? What happened to these people? Like, why don't you say what actually happened? He stuck a needle in his asshole and did PEDs, and he was suspended for it. Like that's what happened. Yeah. Nothing happened to him.
Exactly what
he wasn't held down. Just like Ruggs wasn't forced to drive 120 miles an hour,
forced alcohol,
drunk, and
kill a girl, kill somebody.
Yeah. When that happened to them, that's another problem. But that's another problem for a different show on a different day because that's a 6-hour conversation.
What happened to them?
What happened to those guys?
Yeah, it's so bizarre. They're such a prima donna freaking sport sometimes. A lot of these guys, like D-Hop, just wants to get paid. It
really is all about the money. Like, it's easy to go to a children's hospital once a year and take like 1,000 pictures with these sick kids and be like, wow, this guy's amazing. And then
This is Walter Payton Man of the
You
Year.
actually go to a game and you see them lose, and then they're like hugging and laughing on the sideline and shit, and you're like, this fucker doesn't even care. Like, these people
No,
do not care
that's like
about some of the players. I won't say everybody, but I mean a lot of these star players. Their culture is backwards as hell because they don't even know they're entertainers. Like, they don't even realize, like, they almost deserve this. Like, we owe this to them. It's very bizarre.
one player I know loves the game of football just because I saw how upset he got when they lost was Devontae Adams when he assaulted that
He
camera
got
guy.
really, really mad. Yeah, and he struck that person.
Like,
That shit was crazy.
yeah,
That was the most
but that's
entitled
passion.
bullshit I've ever seen in my life. Because if that camera dude, if he would have got up and busted Devontae Adams' fucking mouth, he'd be in prison. But it's cool because I'm Devontae Adams.
Because I'm a millionaire.
Right.
Like, he got in my way.
Yeah, he was walking where I was about to be walking. I'm just not gonna play that shit. So
he's gonna be a bust. D-Hop.
yeah,
He's gonna go there just like Julio and just totally flop.
yeah. I think everybody was excited to see how good he was getting, and then it kind of started slowly declining, and then that Arizona year, like I said, I didn't see any of it. I didn't watch any of those games.
No.
If I could help it.
And my thing is, like, he was doing performance enhancing drugs, but he wasn't like a standout athlete. Like, he wasn't doing anything crazy.
Right. It makes you wonder.
Like, what's he gonna be like without him?
Yeah, it makes you wonder the levels of what he was doing, because was he doing it to like recover faster, get his strength up more to like compensate for his injury, or was it like, I want to be jacked and perform and run faster and jump higher, so I'm going to take these PEDs? So you don't really know what's happening, but from an outside perspective, you're taking PEDs that are illegal in the league.
It doesn't look good.
Yeah, it's not a great look. So this MLB situation, I feel like since we're in the middle of the season, there's a million things we could hit. We could go a trillion different ways for MLB. So I'm thinking this trade deadline, biggest thing. I saw a couple things today, but I didn't hear any major news today as far as any major MLB trades. I did hear a flutter about Mike Trout being traded, but that was like for draft picks or something, like trading draft picks or something. Colin Cowherd again. That was him.
Colin Cowherd?
Yeah, he was talking about, or for Ohtani or something. I don't know. I didn't see the video. I need to look it up because it sounds pretty ridiculous.
Yeah. He looked pretty smart.
But he's definitely the dude. He's like the number one guy. Everybody's wanting to know where he's going. Breaking here right now, though, I have an official NFL or MLB insider that's told me some information, and he is signing with the Rangers. That's what I was told.
Rangers.
So you can take that to the bank, Skip.
And deposit it.
No, I don't know where the guy's going, but if he went there, I mean, talk about a team that could win this year. I'd love it.
For years to come.
Yeah, I'll take him.
With Bochy.
With the Bruces of Bochy.
And it only makes sense that like, he's done. His contract's up. So why not get rid of him now, get prospects, and then go from there?
Yeah, because, I mean, they're not going to the World Series this year as far as I know, right?
Oh, they're not going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, so, I mean, why not rebuild a little bit? Share up some money. I mean, that's why I think getting rid of Mike Trout might not be a terrible idea. Send him anywhere, probably just not in the division, and you'll be fine. Because the Angels aren't in last place, I don't think, but because the A's, I don't even think the A's have gotten like 25 games. I don't think they've won anything.
No, I don't.
But the Angels are doing a little better, but I don't think they're gonna. There's two. The Mariners are over 500, Astros, and obviously the Rangers leading it. But so they're out of the picture as far as I'm concerned this year. So why not?
They're they're like scraping and clawing and scratching, trying to stay afloat, trying to stay over 500.
Right.
And that's I feel like it's going to be that way for the rest of the season.
Yeah, and I feel like you're gonna stay there or drop if you keep doing what you're doing. You know what I mean? It's kind of like I love Mike Trout. I think Mike Trout is definitely one of the best players, but I can't really say what have you done. Like you haven't done much of anything because it is baseball. It is a crazy amount of games, and you have to be extremely consistent for a long time. And he has been really consistent. They've never. That's why this whole thing kind of blows me away. It's like pay for him or don't, because what do you care? Because you don't. Like you're the Angels.
Yeah, exactly.
So what's really the problem? But I get it. It's clicks. It's people talking about you. It's people talking about your team. Like you've got the face of the league right now. I get it. But if you had to guess where Ohtani would go, I know you want to say the Giants, but if you had to guess,
my big bias
who
answer.
you feel like he's going to sign with, because I think it's going to be the
New York
Dodgers.
Yankees.
The Yankees? Damn, I don't want him to go to the Yankees either. Those are the two worst scenarios. I thought you were going to say the Dodgers also, but only because that's a nightmare scenario for Giants fans, but I feel like it's going to be one of those two. I don't feel like I'm going to get lucky enough to get an Ohtani on my Rangers, and I don't think he wants to go to San Francisco from what I've heard. He said it smells like bum piss. He's just not into that, I guess.
Said there's too many Asians.
Yeah, way too many. So he's
no, Ohtani, you can't say that.
You can't say that, Shohei. So, but anyways, he's going somewhere. Where do you think?
Yeah, whether it be this year or next season, when someone has to pay him $2 billion.
Yeah.
They're 8 games back of the Rangers. They're 51-49. The Angels are.
Oh, so they won today.
Yeah, they've won 6 of their last 4.
Watch out.
Which is not that impressive.
Yeah, I think to compete with the Rangers this year is going to be pretty tough. Not necessarily like American League in general, because there's definitely a couple teams that are going to give them a good friggin' run for their money in the playoffs, and they're going to either start banging trash cans or they're just not going to make it. I just think they're not going to make it.
Or the cheating. They might cheat again.
Definitely could happen. They've done it before.
I wanted them to give that ring to the Dodgers so bad, just so that was their World Series.
Like, make Jose Altuve give it to them.
They cheated. They got cheated against and lost.
Pretty unreal. Pretty unreal. We allow things like this to happen, but
yeah,
it is cool.
Grant them amnesty.
Like you don't really see a lot of player hate towards teams, but in baseball, that's the sport to see that in. Like people, how many videos did you see of right hand the Astros cheated, left hand they didn't? I saw so many outfielder videos. Every outfielder's doing the right hand for the Astros cheating. Everybody felt like that. Players fucking came out hard against the Astros and nothing happened.
No.
Pretty unreal.
Nope. Like I said, they granted them amnesty. Like they let them talk, but they couldn't get in trouble for it. Like they were cool. Like
just never mention it again, and it'll go away. And it sure did.
Yeah.
But the only teams, the only 2 teams in that division that's going to do anything, regardless of Ohtani or Trout, wherever they go, I just don't see that happening. So I'd get rid of him, but that's only to save money. I wouldn't want to get rid of him right now. I wouldn't want to get rid of Trout either. But
no.
But Ohtani, his stats are like He has like Babe Ruth numbers, which is pretty insane because he's doing it without cocaine or a 60-ounce bat.
Or 60-ounce corked bat.
Yeah, pretty. It's pretty wild. The dude is good. The dude can hit. The dude can pitch. He's the guy. He's going somewhere. I guess August 1st is that day we're kind of waiting on. Anytime before August 1st.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, and today was his last game in Anaheim, or excuse me, LA, before the trade deadline. They pushed his next start back till Friday, so I think they're probably going to trade him.
Oh yeah, they might. I hope so. To the Rangers. Who's the next guy on the list that's expected to be gone? Like, I know
Max Scherzer.
Any hopefuls for him or what?
The Giants were said to be monitoring his situation, but that I don't know. I think that's who they said. Scherzer. Yeah, Scherzer.
For sure, because I saw.
Or, excuse me, Verlander.
Justin Verlander.
I think one of those two.
What's going on with Scherzer?
The Mets are sucking, so I think they're going to sell. And so that's the same with Verlander. All those guys are old, though.
Yeah.
Like,
I saw
40.
I saw Logan Gilbert.
How much gas could they have?
I saw Logan Gilbert on a list at MLB Network, but he's not being traded. He's not going to be traded. Why would the Mariners? Why would the Mariners get rid of? I just think that's irresponsible. I don't think it's even in the works. Like, you can't find anything on that. Nobody's offering anything.
No.
I don't even think Seattle's even open to that. It was just reported that he could be traded. I could be wrong. I just haven't seen anything on it. So even if that's happening, I don't think he's going to.
No, I don't see any.
White Sox are going to end up getting rid of Liam Hendricks. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, Tim Anderson might be on the move.
Yeah, saw that. Jordan Montgomery.
Other side of Chicago. They might all be leaving. Cody Bellinger, Tommy Pham, I think his name is. Dude that slapped Jock Peterson last year.
For sure.
Both those guys might be on the move. Stroman would be a good pickup for as a starting pitcher.
Yeah, I saw Jordan Montgomery. I'd like the Red Sox to go get him, but we'll see what happens with that.
Did you say Rugnig Odor?
Where's she going?
Free agency. He just got DFA'd the other day.
Dang.
The Padres cut him loose. Or I think that's...
Yeah.
Rugnig. His big claim to fame was punching Joey Bats. It's about the best thing he's done in his career.
Best thing for sure. Best thing he's ever done.
So yeah, it was the Padres. Padres released him. It's so long, trash boy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's much of anything. Those are all the big names. Did Chapman get traded yet? Do you know?
No. Nope.
Yeah, we'll have to see because that's a giant market.
Anyone's really moved.
What's that?
Yeah. I said I don't think anybody's moved yet. It's been pretty slow.
Yeah, I haven't heard much of anything.
Very few rumors.
So, let me see. Yeah, that was all the notes I had on that. But I don't know. The trade deadline it's a big cluster, kind of until that deadline hits, and then you kind of see where everything falls. So we'll probably
Yeah,
have
because
to,
up until then you have no clue.
yeah, we'll have to hit all of that crap, but definitely after August 1st, see how that goes. But
Yeah.
so my my topic for the MLB today is the Barry Bonds conversation that's been beaten to death,
B
but still
bounds.
like one of the best conversations as far as baseball goes. I think if people think he should be in the Hall of Fame or he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame, I say, yeah, he should absolutely be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he should. Yep,
I think
should.
I think if Mike Piazza and Pudge Rodriguez are in the Hall of Fame, Barry Bonds should be in the Hall of Fame. That's how I see it.
If Babe Ruth, the cheater, is in the Hall of Fame, then Barry Bonds should be in the
Right.
Hall of Fame.
Because as far as I know, Barry Bonds was never suspended. There was no tests. There was no PED tests, positive or negative. There was nothing. He was. It was completely legal up until 2003, and as far as I know, got. He never tested positive for them after 2003. So there's really not even
No.
proof that he did it, besides maybe like eyewitness accounts of people in the dugout.
And his monstrous size.
Right, yeah, and his giant forehead. So, I mean, I get it, but that's how we. I mean, look at Mike Piazza and Pudge Rodriguez. I say them two because they're in the Hall of Fame, and Piazza maybe shouldn't be, but Pudge definitely deserves to be in there. But both of them were suspected of doing. I mean, how many players can you think of that have been suspected of doing it? Not the list, the McGuire, the Sammy Sosa, Canseco, like Clemens,
Yeah.
Barry Bonds list, but all the players that people have come out and said they witnessed them taking stuff or they had knowledge they were taking stuff, and you know what I mean? Who are those guys that are in the Hall of Fame right now that there was any suspicion about? That's my biggest
And
wonder.
just looking at Barry Bonds' numbers, like if you subtract 400 of those home runs, put him at just over 300, he still would have made it into the Hall of Fame, like just off his other numbers alone.
Right.
Like the dude only struck out over 100 times in a season one time, and it was his rookie year.
That's crazy.
And I, he was a
Yeah,
hitter.
when
And
people say Barry
before he
Bonds,
got
I think
big off steroids.
bombs into the bay.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Every game.
Yep.
If they weren't pitching into the dirt or over his head, he was taking it out.
Yeah, it was either a home run or a walk. Yeah, and just like the Babe Ruth, he was playing obviously in a way different time, like with no actual athletes,
Right. Yeah.
and he was using a tree branch that was corked. But he's somehow the greatest baseball player to ever play.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Because people, I mean, if cocaine was legal while Babe Ruth and them were using it in the dugout, and he didn't get in trouble for it because it wasn't illegal, then why same thing with Barry Bonds? Unless there's some sort of proof that he got popped after 2003, and that's just not public information, which I don't see why it wouldn't be, because that would stop the whole conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really understand where people come from on that, because I mean his window is closed.
Yeah.
Last year was the last vote.
Last year, yeah, it was his last chance.
And he got 4 votes. How do you
Yeah.
get 4 out of 16 votes being Barry Bonds, knowing what people know about his situation? That's crazy to me.
It is absolutely crazy. It shouldn't be a question. Like he's first ballot Hall of Famer. Like should have ever been this debate. Should have been.
Right, because it should have been explained. It's kind of, if he broke a rule, then we can talk about it. But there was no test for any of these guys. They didn't test for that. Like Clemens and McGuire and all them. They didn't. There was no. It's all just because people knew about it, and there's probably sworn statements, and it was just a regular thing. Like during the '90s, most of these people, the clubhouse was giving it to these players. So I don't understand the full picture as far as what people know or what these people that vote on this know that we don't know about Barry Bonds, but they obviously know something because he's not in there. And in the argument you hear players like Manny Ramirez, great player, but he was popped. He tested positive for PEDs.
Yep, got in trouble.
So how is that even an argument against Barry Bonds? That makes no sense to me. It's an argument for Barry Bonds, in my opinion, because he did it like 2 or 3 times. Manny got popped for it.
Yeah.
And so if he was a Hall of Famer, even if he was, no, he can't go in the Hall of Fame. You broke these rules. And with Barry Bonds, you would hold him to the same exact standard if it was a rule at the time. It wasn't even a rule. It just destroys the whole argument. So when I hear that, I just either they know more than we do or something, but it's nothing new. PEDs have been around the MLB since '69, like '68 or '69. And like I said, they were handed out to players. So it's very...
And if Tom Brady's not going to get kicked out of the Hall of Fame for cheating, then nobody in any sport should.
Right. Are we... Yeah. It's crazy. Are you not gonna induct Tom Brady because he was caught cheating 3 times or 4 times? Was it 4? Well, the referees cheated one time for him, but the other times they were caught cheating. And so are we holding that against him because he cheated during these games, some of them playoff games? So, but they're not going to. He's going to be voted in first ballot, first hour. He'll be voted in instantly. And
next year,
they'll just put an asterisk by his name, and they'll say, well, this, and this reason that things that he did wrong or whatever, or things that were frowned upon, or whatever they want to say about Tom Brady, whatever he did wrong. But he broke the fucking rules, and he won Super Bowls for it. And so did his coach, and they covered it up, and that was the worst part about it. But Barry Bonds does absolutely nothing but some juice when it was legal and hit a bunch of bombs. Like if it's such a problem, then how come all these people, all these thousands of players were getting PEDs and they weren't Barry Bonds also? Like how come they're not hitting bombs every at bat?
Yeah.
There wasn't like there's only one Barry Bonds. There's only one of those dudes ever.
Yeah, exactly. Like exactly like you just said. If everyone was doing it, there'd be 3 people with 700 plus home runs, or someone that would even come close to contesting it.
Right. Yeah, and that goes for everything. That's not even like I met people, like really high-ranking people in the Army that have been around for too damn long that used to do cocaine and shit while they were active duty because they didn't test for it. Nobody knew anything. That happened everywhere. That, of course, happened in professional sports. And, of course, if it was happening with cocaine and shit, it was absolutely happening with PEDs. I'm all for it. I say give every baseball player PEDs. I'm talking not the little gummy bears. Like, let's shoot them all up, hold them all down, shoot them all up, and see
how far they can
what kind
hit
of
a
game.
baseball.
Yeah, juice up Aaron Judge and see how far his balls go. He's gonna be hitting 700-foot homers out into the streets of the Bronx, just killing homeless people. Who doesn't want to see Aaron Judge kill homeless people? That's my biggest question. That's the question of the day. Everybody's got to get in the comments and let us know if you want to see Aaron Judge beat the shit out of homeless people with baseballs from 700 feet away. Who doesn't want to see that?
Drop bombs on homeless people.
And then they'll be like, well, the stadiums are too damn small. Great, let's make them bigger. We can fit more people.
There we
it's
go.
More baseball. Let's make them 500-foot fences now. Adjust the game, guys. Like when they did the cameras for Joey Gallo, one guy in the whole MLB can hit the ball a certain distance straight up, and you have to change everybody's cameras. Come on, we can make fields bigger. Let's go, guys. Push the green wall back and give them PEDs, and let's see what the show looks like. All those people that say, "Oh, baseball's boring, I can't watch it." Those people, they wouldn't say that anymore. Those people wouldn't exist.
They'd
anymore.
watch.
Yeah, a pitcher throwing a $145 to somebody that can hit the ball 160 miles an hour off the bat. Come on, I'm watching that.
Yeah, hell yeah. It doesn't even matter which team it is.
Nope.
It'd be like watching Slugfest. Like Slugfest 2003, but real life.
Right, like NBA Jam styles, like NFL Blitz styles.
Yep.
It would just, everybody would be super angry in sports. It would just be great. It would make sports so great instead of what they do now with all the everybody's friends and he lost the game, so let me go over and cry with him and hug on him and stuff. Back in the day, we used to laugh in those people's faces and tell them to do better.
Yeah, right. Soft.
Oh, man. Yeah, either way, Barry belongs in the Hall of Fame. And if you disagree with me, go ahead and let us know, because you're wrong, and we'll tell you why you're wrong. Unless you have more information, like I said, if there's something out there that we just don't know about and we're just completely ignorant to it.
Yeah, it should miss my research.
Yeah, please prove me wrong, because I would like to know why. I'm sure millions of people would like to know why he's not there.
Yeah. If you can explain to me why Barry Bonds is not in the Hall of Fame, then I would love to know.
Tell me some sort of rule he broke or something that he did off the field maybe that you don't like, or like something everyone in the world hasn't heard of. There might be something out there, but I doubt it. Either way, he belongs in the Hall of Fame. It's Barry Bonds, let's be real. And like I said, there's plenty of people. There's these dudes like the McGuire, Sosa, Barry Bondses. They're like the poster children for please don't do steroids. And this is what can happen to you. And they always say like, no, nobody that's ever done steroids is in the MLB. Those guys. It's those guys.
Yeah.
Like
it was him.
That's the dudes they're talking about. Now, if you say, well, prior to 1990, they'll be like, oh no, I don't know. We didn't test for it. I'm not sure. Okay.
Yeah, it could have been.
Yeah.
He looked like he was.
Pretty unreal. But I think that should be good for today. I'm sure the production value was pretty terrible and the conversation was droll. But I had fun. We'll be building. It'll get better every day, maybe. Or it'll be terrible every day. But either way, I'm having fun talking sports.
Hell yeah.
So what are we doing Tuesday?
Yeah, Tuesday.
Sweet. So yeah, next episode will be Tuesday, and I think we've got a little bit of the MLB playoff picture we could probably go into a little bit, just to kind of see what that's looking at. But yeah, Tuesday,
NFL training camp starts Tuesday for a lot of teams.
Yeah, they're reporting the 25th. The veterans are reporting the 25th or something like that.
Yeah.
There are no flags on the field! A home run for Gibson.